Hello, welcome to episode 19 of Music is None of Our Business, where me and Jake are going to review our top 10 LPs of the year. How exciting is that?
How very exciting.
Yes, do you think we'll cross over? No.
I think it's almost impossible to think that will happen.
Yes, I know. How many have you got from... Because we fucked ourselves a bit, didn't we? Because we in the middle of the year, or on episode 3, I think we did our top 10 LPs of the year so far. Yeah. But now we've decided rather than do the next another 10, we're just going, no, this is it. This is our yearly our yearly. So how many did you pick? How many stayed in the list for you from the beginning of the year?
Only 2 of them.
Oh, right, okay.
But it's difficult because, when you've got fresh records to listen to, they invariably sound a bit better.
Yeah, I was thinking that because I was looking through my list. I was looking through the list of that we did for episode 3, and there were some great records on there, but not many I've necessarily listened to a lot since that time. Probably I've got 3.
Okay.
That I've carried over, which I was kind of surprised about, but they're not, because like you say, these ones are fresher. No, 4. I have actually carried over 4. So
one man argument.
Yeah, fucking. So ignore all that. No, it's been a pretty good year.
Yeah.
I think music wise, I've quite enjoyed. A lot of the stuff. I've been to some good gigs and bought some good records, and it's been not a bad year. So do you want to go first? Because sorry, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say it's worth bearing in mind that the records that we've acquired in the latter part of the year were not necessarily released in the latter part of the year. I think two of those that I bought in September, October might well have been released in March, April. It's just that I hadn't got around to getting them. So
same here. I mean, one I haven't even got around to buy. For reasons I'll go into, I think I explained to you last week when we had a rant after we'd done the recording. But I'll explain why I haven't bought one of them so far, but I still like it.
Okay.
Okay. So
all right then.
You can't even fucking remember, can you? We talked about this last week. Yeah, and when I saw it, you'll go, oh yeah, I remember now. And I'll be going, all right, Grandad. All right, you can't take you fucking... You are Grandad, actually, aren't you?
I've got no excuse.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, well, given the fact that we've got 10 to get through, we'll probably need to cut down on the waffle a little bit. We'll cut through these.
Good thinking.
First one on my list is simply called Die by a Swedish punk band called Brain Bombs. Don't know if you're familiar with them.
Awesome.
But they
doesn't ring a bell. No.
Formed in 1985, they have a totally scuzzed out and shot blasted sound. The sound is so fucking compressed, it's difficult to make out what the instruments are at times. It is a hellish noise, but it's fantastic hellish noise. You've got no idea what the singer's singing about. Is his voice and most of the other instruments are just buried under waves of guitars. I think there are 2 guitar players, and they just got such a cacophony. The lyrics, you wouldn't know it because you can't hear what they're singing, but the lyrics are largely highly offensive. I won't give examples here, but they are in White House territory with their lyrics. This is an anarcho-punk.
Fair enough. Brain Bombs.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time, not since 1985. I would say they have a very prickly relationship with the Swedish journalistic or the journalists. They refer to Swedish media as a bunch of inbred morons. That's their view. And generally they get very bad reviews in Sweden, possibly as a result. They've been called unrelentingly vile oral sludge, which is probably reasonably fair.
Excellent. Excellent. So they're not going to make Christmas number
No,
one.
they don't want to. I've read some of the interviews. They're not interested in commerciality. They've kind of carefully worked out that they'll only ever sell about 600 of any record in the world. So that's how many they have pressed up. But they are very, very good. A very good listener.
But that's before they got featured on Music Isn't
Exactly
Their Business.
right.
So obviously the sales will soar
I'm sure
now.
they'll be over the moon. But they don't tour. They very rarely play live. They seem disinterested in all of that. But this album, Die, as I say, it's a great album. Repetitive, punk, noise. Definitely not one for faint hearts.
Fair enough. Well, I'll definitely be giving that a listen. Oh, the compressed, that reminds me of. Is it kind of D beat, or is it?
No.
Is it? You know, just general.
Yeah, it's more on the kind of relentless psychedelic rock punk kind of thing. I think one of the tracks sounds like it could easily be Rudimentary Peni. A track called Afternoon Sun that could easily be Rudimentary Peni if the mixing desk had been set on fire and then they took the tapes and chucked them in a bucket of dog piss. Then that would probably sound like it.
Fair enough. You paint such a picture. You paint such a picture. I should have timed that just to see how well you did. Whether you got is that a 2 minute?
Difficult to say because we had all of the. We've only done 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes since we switched on, and then we had a bit of preamble, so it's probably about 4 minutes.
I was wondering whether we needed to say, right, we've got 3 minutes each, or 4 minutes each, or something, because I never do. Because I get halfway through mine, I forget what I was fucking talking about anyway, and then have to wrap up.
Well, I'll cut most of yours out in the edit anyway.
Just leaving the jokes. That's
the
what
jokes
the
and lots of you know.
Yeah. See, what we need to do is invent a program that automatically goes through and takes out any you knows. That would be fucking, mind you. But then we'd probably end up with like a 10-minute podcast.
Have a cutting room floor with lots of digital you knows. I'll be up to my knees in you knows. What will I do with all these you knows?
You could send them to Apex too. He could probably make a banging fucking dance track out. Sideline.
Yes, yeah, good sideline. Okay,
right. Oops, sorry.
That's
I just
right.
put something over my.
What's that?
Was
Is that your
note.
list?
That's my note. It's all scrolled down because, as I was saying to you before we started, I've had a really busy week at work, and I've been scrawling notes down. And I've just got all these handwritten bits of paper just sitting around all over the place. Well, my first one, I mean, mine are in no particular order. But my first one is Never Enough by Turnstile. Turnstile being they're a US hardcore band, and are very, very popular with the kids, because it's kind of that, it's a really awesome mess of hardcore, kind of dream pop, synths, horns, you name it, the whole lot's in it. It's very poppy, very catchy, really, really awesome, and it's a great record. And this is where my butt comes in, because this is what, not my butt, my butt.
Put it away, Dave, put it away.
But
I remember now.
What the thing I don't like about Turnstile is everything is so fucking expensive. They're a punk band. I can't get my head around the fact that they're a hardcore punk band. Their records, their single LPs, are retailing for around about 35 quid or more.
That's a lot.
Their t-shirts are retailing for about 35 quid. Their long sleeve t-shirts are about 50 quid.
Wow.
Their hoodies are going for 60 to 70 quid. And it's that whole, I really, really want to like them more, but it just pisses me off. It's that whole punk thing, I can't get it out of my head that, other labels for a single LP, you're looking at 20, 25 quid. Yeah. T-shirts, The Cure sell their T-shirts for 20 quid. Any T-shirt on the internet from a merch place, you're looking at probably 25, 26 quid. And I don't know whether, I mean, I'm sure they must know what these prices are.
Turnstile's label mates, bands that are on the same label have similar prices.
I've got a feeling, I know they're with Roadrunner Records, and I know Roadrunner Records don't have the best kind of reputation when it comes to things like that. I just remember things in the past, you know, but I don't know. It just irks me a bit. I can't quite get over it. I love the record. I haven't bought it because I just refuse to pay that much money for it. But I really, really like it. I really like them. They seem to be, in all other ways, great to their fans. You know, there's lots of, you know, the concerts, the footage I've seen from gigs. It looks amazing. It looks like a really good atmosphere. You know, the kids are on the stage. There's stage diving. You know, but it just fucking narks me. It's just because I'm old and well, you know, I mean, you know where we come from. We come from punk, you know, and it's always been it's always been affordable. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You know, if Crass can do it, fucking Turnstile can do it. If The Cure can do it, any band can do it. You know, this is the thing. You know, the Robert Smith and The Cure seem to be the band who are standing up for the fans monetarily these days, and it should be a punk band. It should be, you know, Turnstile should be saying, you know, 15 quid to get into our gigs, fucking 20 quid for a t-shirt, you know, records being sold at a reasonable price. You know, I mean, and I've got nothing against the bands themselves. I just, you know, it just narks me. I just thought I'd get it off my chest.
You have got it off your chest.
Yes,
thoroughly.
Thank you. So, but yes, but brilliant LP, great, you know, really anthemic and a really good sing-along, poppy, you know, like I say, elements of so many different genres in there. And, you know, Turnstile, put your fucking prices down.
I'm sure they will hear that message ringing around the world, and they will quake in awe.
Yeah. Oh my God, those twats from Music Is None of Our Business, so we should put our prices down. I'm quaking in my boots. They're old and grey. They might corner us. They might corner us and tell us old anecdotes about the day they went to see the Clash.
Oh, God forbid. Okay, well, we shall see.
Oh, it's like punk never happens.
Do they sing about punk type kind of themes? They sing about anarchy and smash the system and anti-capitalism.
I don't know, because I haven't bought the record.
Oh, right. I thought we listened to it.
Sorry, I can't read the fucking. I've listened to it,
right?
But you know me, lyrics go in one ear and out the other.
Right,
unless I've got them in front of me and I take the time to read them, I've got a fucking clue.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I'll double check and I'll get back to you on that.
Because if they are making pronouncements that would suggest they are egalitarian, then that would be a little bit wrong.
Yeah. But I'll check in our first break, and I'll let you know what I find out. But yeah, so that's number one is Turnstile, Never Enough.
Okay, well, my number two should be relatively quick because this is a band we have encountered before and spoken about. It's NYX, NYX, and they were one of the bands featured in episode 6, which was Great Women in Music.
Oh yeah,
because they're predominantly women.
Yes.
So I don't need to say an awful lot about NYX. If you missed episode 6, suffice it to say, it's a collective choir, predominantly females, led by Sian O'Gorman and Philippa Niels.
Oh yes, and they did it with Gazelle Twin, didn't they?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yes. So 2025 release for NYX is actually a re-release, so it's slightly skirting the rules a little bit, but it is a remastered re-release of their first album.
I'm just checking NYX. The rule book. Let's have a look.
What does the adjudicator say?
Under section 3.12. No,
that's got to be permissible.
I can't be asked to argue it. So.
If it was the straight remix, just a repressing, then that wouldn't stand. Yeah. But this is remastered, so I think that's
say no more.
A different thing. So We've spoken about Nix, as I said before. This, their first record, is really just very much more of what we've talked about already. So fine filigree voices, beautiful, haunting. This has got some very primal, ritualistic chanting on it as well, with some heavy percussion at times. Couple of the tracks, Through Fire and Daughters, begin quite conventionally Nix-like, I suppose, with lots of floating voices, but they build and build and build until they become quite noisy. So it is a beautiful album. It is a fantastic album. One of the things that is quite strange about it, I think, is the last track on it is Dream Baby Dream, which is a cover of Suicide's 1979 single. And you wouldn't ordinarily put the two together, Nix and Suicide, very different music stylistically. But they do a fantastic droney, floaty version of it. It's a great single in itself, but the Nix version is something very different, but still the same, if that makes any sense. So, as I say, not much to say about Nix. Great album, lots of female voices, and that's my number 2.
Excellent. Yes, well, I like Nix. I haven't listened. I'll be honest. I've still never got round to listening to anything other than the one they did with Gazelle Twin.
Ah, right.
Nearly got my twins mixed up then with Gazelle Twin. But that was cracking. I really enjoyed that. But I'll definitely listen to some more of that. I usually do when I compile the playlists. I normally go off on little tangents and start listening to stuff, all the stuff that you've suggested that I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Whereas you probably ignore every fucking thing I say. So.
Not at all. I have listened to. I'll be honest. I haven't listened to all the playlists that you put together and so on, but some bits and pieces I listen to. It's just time. It's just time.
Yeah. Well, the beauty of it is I'm in charge of that side of things, so I compile it all and put it all together, and so I do get a chance to listen to it. So yes.
By the time I've done hours and hours of production and editing, I just want to lay down and forget all about it.
I can imagine with a cold compress on your forehead.
That's right.
I just edited out. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Okay, so my number 2 is The New Eve is Rising by The New Eves. The New Eves are a 4-piece from Brighton, consisting of Violet, Kate, Ella, and Nina, and very hard. Are you going to say something, or were you going to sneeze?
No. I just said there's a graphic I've seen. Are they all dressed in white smocks?
Yes, they are. Yes. It's fucking brilliant. I absolutely love it. It's kind of quite. I don't want to sound rude, but it's kind of got that ramshackleness to it, you know. But in a really brilliant way. It's kind of. It's like folk punk. It's like having a folk punk band comprised of the girls who did the dancing in Midsummer, the film.
Okay,
in their white, and you could imagine them going off and slaughtering some people afterwards. You know, there's that. It's like those girls from Midsummer. Accidentally stumbled on a box full of records with the Sex Pistols and the Raincoats and the Slits and possibly Fairport Convention, and then banged it all together to make this glorious racket. It's absolutely fabulous.
Okay.
And according to I love reading all the reviews and everything, but one of them said incorporates drone rock, traditional folk, and anarcho punk as well.
That's a good combo.
So and it does. It's really. I love it. It's got that kind of. It's got that. I don't know. I want to say je ne sais quoi, but that just sounds poncy. But it has. I can't think of anything else. It's just got something about it.
Just say I don't know what. That's not as pretentious as je ne sais quoi.
It's got that. I don't know what. No, that sounds shit. It's got that je ne sais quoi.
How are you so pretentious?
It has a je ne sais quoi about it, if you know what I mean. It is just. No, it has. And Yeah, it's one of those, and it's one of those ones where I want to do, you know, I mean, the videos I do on Instagram, I wanted to do the new Eves, but I just couldn't put it into words. I had so much trouble putting it into words, you know, without using je ne sais quoi. Yeah, but I don't want to say je ne sais quoi on a video because I would look like a fucking twat then, wouldn't I? You know, because I'll probably have to do chef's kisses and things like that. and then at the end go, ho, 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 ho. Or,
twiddle your moustaches, that would really do
it. I've kept the moustache on after Movember. I quite enjoyed it. I like twiddling with it. It just fucking annoys people. But yeah, it's a brilliant brilliant record. I really would thoroughly recommend it. And I think it's a bit Marmite, you know. I think you either love it or you won't. Basically,
Okay.
I've had a couple of people listen to it, and some have gone, "Oh, that's really good," and one other, i.e. Hannah, went, "I don't quite get that," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's fair enough. It's fair enough. You know, you're not going to please all the people all the time."
You're not.
But yes, I thought, and I'd be interested to hear what you think of it.
We'll give that a go because
Yeah,
I did read something about them, sort of photograph, read something about them, and did think to myself that looks worth a listen. But I haven't got round to it yet, so I will.
They're supposed to be quite good live as well. They supported Black Country New Road at the Corn Exchange, but I was in fucking Dusseldorf with work, so I couldn't. I had to miss that, which was a bit of a pisser. Although I've been in Germany, but you know we're on the beer. Yes. But I think they'll probably be playing somewhere next year, so I'm going to try and pop along to see them next year. But yeah, so that's my number 2, the New Eves. The New Eve is Rising.
Right, my number 3 then is a chunk of very mad mental music indeed, and it's an album called Abomination Revealed at Last by the OCs, which is the most frenzied garage punk on the planet. These people, they've been around, well, the band has been around for nearly 30 years. But, you know, they swoop under the radar a lot of the time. Part of the reason being they keep changing their name. So the OCs, Orinacre Crash Suite, Orange County Squad, and main man Dwyer. What's his first name? I forgot his first name. John Dwyer.
That's of all the names you could forget, of all the fucking names you could forget, John. It's the most common one.
Yeah, I could have stabbed that one in the dark and it would have been right. But
I mean, if it was like Zebediah or something, I could probably
that would be more memorable.
What was his name? Yeah, quite possibly, actually, yeah. Okay, I'll give you that then.
John Dwyer, so
John.
he formed the band, and for the first few years, I think it was just him. It was his solo project, but they've built and grown and morphed and so on over the years. But one of the things he said was that he changes the name of the band routinely just to piss music journalists off. I get it out, spit it out, just to piss.
Do I do a take 2 on that one?
Piss music journalists off. So. It's got a very similar
music.
Really? Cut it all out, so stop. So it's got a very similar view on music journalism as have Brain Bombs, who have a similarly acrimonious relationship with the music journalists. But I don't know whether OCs get bad reviews like Brain Bombs do. But it is very raw, very jagged, very angular garage punk music. And they've had quite a lot of albums that are quite prolific. And Abomination Revealed at Last is their 2025 release. And it is just frantic. It is just so hyped up. Like they've taken something chemical and just picked up their instruments and gone, rah, rah. They've got 2 drummers now.
Sorry, so how have they gone?
Yeah, that was exactly it. That was track 2. Track 3 is but it's all it's not punk in terms of the messaging. The messaging is very much kind of B-movie monster films and so on. They're kind of like a very drunk fried on acid Devo kind of thing. I don't know why I necessarily think that. but it is maniac, pounding drums. As I say, 2 drummers, so it's really, really potent in that area. Got squiggly electronics on it as well, because there's a synthesist type person. I'm making no sense whatsoever.
A synthesis. You're not, no.
A synthesist type person. I should edit this heavily. My brain's not working very well today.
Yeah, well, I personally think you should leave it in, because you fucked me over last time on the introduction when I got the numbers wrong, and you left that in when I asked you to take it out.
That worked very well, though. Yes, so OCs, it makes me smile. It just makes me smile. It's got no pretenses to professionalism. It is just frantic garage punk, and it's great.
Awesome. They I think they played Cambridge last year, didn't they? I think they played the Junction.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
I think so. Yeah. And I didn't go. I've never got round to listening to the OCs for some reason. There were one of those bands who I think I probably like, but for some reason I just have never got round to listening to them. I've no idea why. No idea why.
You should give them a shot. Give them a shot.
Yeah.
And certainly the last couple of albums were stormers, to be honest.
What was that?
It's just a wire getting in the way.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. Okay, so my number 3 is Implosion by The Bug versus Ghost Dubs. And this is a cracking double LP, this is. It's superb. I pre-ordered it some time ago, and it came out about, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago now. And boy, is it heavy! It's got bass like you wouldn't believe. It's got absolutely floor-shaking bass.
Speaker wrecking bass.
Sorry?
Speaker wrecking bass.
Yes, speaker. Yeah. I was just saying to you before we started that my speakers have trouble handling the bass. It really is that. But I've streamed it a fair bit, and I've got my subwoofer. And the first time I played it, I could hear all these weird noises. I couldn't work out what it was. And I walked through into the hallway, and all the pictures on the wall were rattling in their frames. It is absolutely fantastic. I did a video on the Instagram channel for it this week, and I just waxed lyrical about it. It is just a phenomenal album. I was just talking about how, the fact when you say bass heavy, it just doesn't do it justice. I mean, this is like proper bone. You can feel it in your bones, the bass. They played a gig in London on Sunday, and it was a daytime gig, and I really wanted to go, but I'd been down on the train 3 times in a week, and I just couldn't afford to do it again, and I was gutted. And apparently it was absolutely fantastic. It was The Bug. The Bug did a set, who was Kevin Martin, who's been around for ages. You know who Kevin Martin is. And then Ghost Dubs is a German producer called Michael Fiedler. So he was there. It was The Bug, Ghost Dubs. I think they had Gorgon, who is a Japanese producer who does the similar earth-shaking things. And then The Bug did a couple of... did a set with... I think he did it with Warrior Queen, singing over the top as well.
Okay.
And... yeah, and I'm really gutted that I just couldn't afford it. I it's like I really want to go, but Christmas is coming up, and I've got to go down to London. I've got a couple of gigs coming up that I need to go to. And I was devastated, but it is phenomenally heavy. It really is. It's kind of it just goes along at this absolutely glacial pace. And there's kind of bits of it sounds industrial. It sounds ambient. Because the bloody cats are on top of the cupboard, and the cats are on top of one of the cupboards, and I have to keep looking up because previously Claude's jumped down straight onto my desk, nearly gave me a fucking heart attack. And I don't really want to die mid-podcast. I don't think... I mean, it'd probably boost the ratings. We'd probably get a lot more listens, but we wouldn't do very many more episodes, I don't
I'd
think.
have to have you AI'd.
Yes, absolutely, yeah. Actually, it's really funny because if you go on to Instagram, I know you don't have Instagram, but if anyone's interested, if you go onto Instagram, you can actually pick a language, and you could hear me talking, and they dub me in Spanish.
Oh, good Lord.
Hindu, and one other. I can't remember what the other language is, but it's fucking brilliant.
Wow.
Watching yourself talk. Talking fluent Spanish and Hindu, it's fucking weird. It is really, really weird. But sometimes when you change back, it doesn't quite change back. So then you look like you're in some kind of old Chinese kung fu film from that with the dubbing, and your lips don't actually match what you say. Oh, it's fantastic! Yeah, it's really, really funny. Well worth watching me in Hindu. It's very funny. It's very funny. But yes, I can't really go on about that. You know, suffice to say, if you've got a decent system and you can turn the bass up, give it a listen, because it will shake. It will shake your bones. It is. It's properly up there in my top 10. If I was going to do it in order, it would probably be, in the top 3, I would think.
Okay.
So yes, so there you go.
one.
A quick whiz through the Bug and Ghost Dubs.
It's interesting how Kevin Martin's career has moved through these different styles. He's always been into incredibly heavy bass and volume, but in such different areas musically, from God to Techno Animal and all the way through to the Bug. But a very talented man indeed. Very talented man.
Very, 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 yes. I got the Techno Animal. I got their re-releases. I think they came out last year, and they made a lovely job of them. They were all in books and really nice coloured splatter vinyl. Really nice sets. And I got the Machines box set as well. That was another booklet with lots of. That was the release. That was the Bug release before Implosion, I think. And that's very much of the same. Very, very floor shaking bass.
I think the last one I got was Fire.
Yes, I've got that as well. That's a really good one. Yeah.
Pressure. Yeah. There's some brilliant albums there. Yeah,
he did the one with did that one with Disfig as well, didn't he? In Blue, was that called?
I think it sounds familiar. Yeah.
That was really good. I really like that. I really like her. I saw her last year. She was brilliant.
Yeah, he's a serial really collaborator as well, because he did one with More Mother.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. Okay. Yep. So that's number 3.
My number 4 is Puchung Pankur Zhuang Hujan Bedog.
Bless you.
Which isn't me going through AI to speak Indonesian. It's me very badly doing Indonesian. Because it probably says nothing of that sort. But this it translates to thunder, lightning, and heavy rain. And it's by Jay Dawn and Vukir Suryadi. And it is a terrific combination of ethnic Indonesian sounds and 21st century electronic hip hop. So Jay Dawn is an Indonesian hip hop artist. He's only done a few releases on his own that I can see, and most of that isn't available to listen to on Bandcamp or on Spotify. So you only get bits and pieces to listen to. But the bits that you can listen to, one of them is called Decontrol, and it's on a label called Most Hated by All Records, which sounds very anti-establishment. Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
But Vukir Suryadi.
It's not. I take it. It's not it's not a Discharge cover.
I don't think it would be likely. No, but it's possible, because when you look at the track titles and the kind of stuff that he's doing, it is very much fuck the system, smash the establishment kind of stuff. So he's very that way inclined ideologically. So it's entirely possible. One of the bands he plays in is called Napalm Squad. Again, just from reading the things that they're calling songs, you get the impression that they are very much of a discharged type of philosophy. But
do you think?
Yeah, possibly. But there's it. But then there's so it's Jay
Napalm Squad. I mean, it's not going to be K-pop, is it? I don't think.
No. So Ruqayyah Suryadi we have encountered already, and Ruqayyah Suryadi is one half of Sanyawa, who made I think in one of the very first episodes we did, I proposed their album was one of the highlight releases. Well, it was episode 3. It's one of the best releases of 2025. So this
I did weirdly. I did think that rings a bell.
Oh, did you?
I had a feeling. I had a feeling you'd mentioned them before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent memory or dishonesty.
Unusual for me. Well, that's because it's some time ago. If it was last 5 minutes, I wouldn't remember a fucking thing. It takes anything you tell me takes about a year to sink in, and then it's there for good. Someone mentioned my trivia side in because we were talking about my trivia side, and my brain is full up, and they said that's brilliant. I said yes, but the side with all the useful stuff is fucking empty. There's nothing in there, so it doesn't really balance out. So, but then one of the girls from our quiz team popped in and said yes, but it really helps us. And I was like, well, fair enough, yeah.
Yes, well, okay. So Sanyawa album was in the best of the first half of 2025, but this one wasn't. I hadn't got it at that time. But we got track titles like Dumb Fuck Liar Cops, Battlefield, and Reign of Machetes. And it's very, very different record to Sanyawa. If you remember the Sanyawa album, it was very ethnic and very intimate and just fantastic. This is, it's got a lot of electronics, a lot of anger and a lot of rage in it, a lot of looping. It's full of grime and distortion.
The first one was basically De La Soul, and this one's NWA.
Yeah, probably, yeah. That.
Fair enough.
But again, it's got an earth-shaking bass, and it's another one that will rattle your internal organs in places. Best track on there, Stand and Fight, which is just a refrain of "We don't need no border, let the motherfucker burn," which is just perfect, really. And
fair enough.
And with everything that's happening in Indonesia at the moment and the terrible time they're having, I'm sure their rage at the government inaction and so on is even more heightened. But it's a great record. Really interesting, and definitely one of the best of my 2025.
Excellent. That was number 4, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah, I'm just working out where I am on my list. Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay, well, my number 4 is Bleeds by Wednesday. And Wednesday are a band from America, from the southern states. I can't remember actually where, but I wrote it down. Now I can't find a bit of paper I wrote it on because I'm so organised. But it's basically based around lead singer Carly Hartzman, and also guitarist MJ Lenderman, who's kind of gone off to do he's been making solo stuff as well. That's been very, very popular.
Okay.
And it's kind of I suppose you'd call it. It's like country indie punk, really.
Keep coming up with these weird combinations.
Well, it's really I'm absolutely shocking at describing music, as you know, which is a brilliant way you do a music podcast. But I think it's one of those when you're describing music, I think it's easiest just to go for the basics, rather than confuse it and say, it's I'd rather say, well, look, this sounds like country made by punk rockers who have listened to lots of indie music. Mm-hmm. It's basically that, and her lyrics are just brilliant. I mean, they did the album before, Rats or God, was just fabulous, but this one is just great. I mean, it's got proper I don't know, it just it starts, it's brilliant, and then it finishes. There's no filler at all. There's a song on there called Elderberry Wine, which is an absolute banger. I saw them last year. I saw them last year at Scala, and they were so good live. And then I popped down to Rough Trade. They did Carly did a solo performance with a very noisy electric guitar. I think everyone was expecting her to wander on with an acoustic, and she came on with an electric guitar, made a hell of a racket. It was fabulous. And did a whole hour, did some oldies, did some a lot of the new stuff. But it's one of my favourite albums of this year. It's like I say, it's kind of one of those all killer, no filler LPs. I think they're over again next year. They were playing the Electric Ballroom, but it's just been upgraded to the Roundhouse.
Oh, right.
So they're definitely on their way up. And I always know when a band I like, because Lily's listened to it. My daughter's listened to it as well, and she really likes them as well. So I had written more notes about it. I can't fucking find them. I got fucking paper all over the place here. So I'm afraid that will have to do for the time being on Wednesday. Suffice to say, it's a cracking record,
and it's nothing to do with the Addams Family.
No, it's not. No, easy mistake to make. Do you know, I've got a Wednesday T-shirt, and I often walk around thinking, I bet everyone thinks it's fucking. I'm a closet General Tega fan or something, and it's actually a really cool band from America.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you have to put some explanatory notes on with some fabric dye. Nothing to do with the Addams Family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, not General Tega.
Okay, cool. And my number 5 will be very brief because it is one that I've already talked about before again, and it's one that has stayed in the top 10 despite the deluge of other fine records that have emerged over the latter half of 2025. And it's Electroacoustic Works for Halderophone by Martina Bertoni, which talked about this record specifically earlier in the year. But just to very briefly recap, Martina Bertoni is a cellist. She's also a lecturer, and she is an engineering programmer in Berlin. And the Halderophone is a cello-like instrument. Electronic cello-like instrument invented by Icelandic artist Halldór Ulfarsson. So it is very ambient work.
Yes, because we got lots of Icelandic jokes about Icelandic names in there, didn't we?
We did. Yes, but there have been a few Icelandic ones come along.
Yes,
but it is delicate, beautiful wisps of sound, fluttering and floating like dust in the sunlight. The drone sections which are in there are similarly non-industrial type drones. Subtle, shifting, soft, comforting, and the Halderophone being played by Bertoni is fragile and delicate and just beautiful. Slight electronic glitches. It is mesmerising stuff, and I still go back to it, listen to it many times since episode 3, and it well deserves a place in the best of 2025. But as I say, not much to say. If you want to know any more about it, it was spoken about in great length in episode 3, wasn't it?
Episode 3 was the one when we did our records of the year so far.
Yeah. So that's it for that one.
Oh, it took me by surprise then. I thought you were going to. I thought you were going to rattle on for another couple of minutes yet. So
I'd only be repeating myself, really, which doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's true. The rate we're going, this is going to be the shortest episode ever, isn't it? I think, which is great for you when you're editing.
Yeah, I'll slow it all down to 33 1/3 RPM.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
We should do like Blue Jam, like Steve Morris, because you see some of those. You get the straight version, and you get various affected versions on the DVD anyway. So you can do slowed down versions and processed versions. If I had the time, maybe I'll do that at some point. We could do like remix episodes. That's right.
We could do one episode when we're both on helium. That would be brilliant. Yeah. We could do an episode in Hindu.
Well, that would be useful. Yes, yeah.
Do you ever go on to our to the podcast and read the transcripts?
No.
You can read. They're fucking hilarious. They're absolutely hilarious.
I have glanced from time to time at their headings, which it says these are AI generated headings or something, just to scan down.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't make a lot of sense, and sometimes they do.
Well, you should read the subtitles of the transcript of it, because you're like, what the fuck? Were we pissed? It's like, And Jake said, "Flippity dippity Tom." And, oh right, yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. Oh dear. In fact, having said that, we did say
we did. Yes, so we talked about Snuff, didn't we?
We did the Snuff album. Yeah. I should have picked another nonsensical. Another nonsensical phrase.
I understood where you were trying to get to.
Yes. Okay, so my next one, number 5, is Anna von Housewolf, Iconoclasts, which I bought and totally fell in love with. I would say this is probably second favourite album of the year. It's just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. It's so epic. It's just you've got. I mean, because Anna von Housewolf is from Sweden. I think, is she from Sweden? Yeah, I think she is.
Scandinavian.
Yes, yeah. She's. I should have just gone with Scandinavian because that covers a multitude of sins, doesn't it? Yeah. Hang on. Right, edit that bit out. Anna von Housewolf is Scandinavian. But Iconoclast was. I did a video about it. I just absolutely loved it. It's just so grandiose. There's something massive about it. Her actual instrument is a pipe organ. That's what she focuses on. And I first came across her when she played something with Sun O.
Sun Zero, you mean?
Or Sun Zero or Sun or whoever the fuck. And she was on that. Did I talk about her before? And when we did, I might have talked about her before.
You have spoken about her recently, but I'm not sure if that was on record or not.
I think it was. Yeah.
So one of your female top picks?
Could well have been. Yes. Yeah, because I tried to go. I tried to be contemporary, and you just picked any old fucker. I remember that. So I just. But yeah, it's a fantastic album. It's got a duet with Iggy Pop. That's just amazing. And that's the one where I think he sounds like. Johnny Cash at the end of when Johnny Cash did her.
Okay.
He sounds really old, and I know Iggy Pop. Yeah. I know he's knocking on. He's very healthy, so I don't think he's gonna peg it anytime soon. But he sounds so world weary, and it just suits the song perfectly. And she also does a duet with Ethel Cain on it as well. But the whole thing, it's got like free jazz saxophone in there. It's got drones. It's got pipe organs. It's got like massive like rock. It's just everything. It's got every genre you can think of in there. It's just phenomenal. It's such a brilliant LP. I just love it. And I think I said at the time I'd be very surprised if it wasn't in my top. 1 or 2 LPs of the year, and that is how it's turned out. And I did manage to get a ticket. She was playing London next year. She was playing at Islington Academy, and it sold out. But they've upgraded it, so I've managed to get a ticket. And I think I've mentioned it before. Lily's going to come. Lily asked if she could come, so we're popping along to Electric Brixton to see her at the end of January, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Marvellous.
But yes, I thoroughly recommend it. It's an epic LP. Anna von Housewolf, Iconoclasts.
Excellent. Good. I do like Anna myself. Haven't heard that one yet, although you did mention it a few weeks ago, and I did say I was going to listen to it.
Yeah, and you said, "I'll definitely listen to that," and of course you fucking haven't.
To make a note.
Honestly,
all these promises I make is terrible.
Oh, it's just, it's heartrending for me.
Sure it is.
I suggest all this music, and he just constantly let me down.
Oh no, he's having an emotional crisis in public.
Yes, I listen to everything. I listen to everything you put forward.
I doubt that highly. Okay, moving on before it gets too emotional. My number 6, somebody that we were.
So I'm just so we wipe this tear away.
Yeah, I'm going to ignore you. I'm going to ignore you. Somebody we were going to encounter sooner or later, because it's somebody I've liked for a very long time and liked a great deal, but we haven't done as yet. Muslim Gauze. Muslim Gauze, despite the fact that he died 26 years ago, continues to release enormous amounts of music. Muslim Gauze was one man, a guy by the name of Bryn Jones from Manchester, who was deeply interested in conflict in the Muslim world, in the Levant, in the Middle East and thereabouts. And he was extraordinarily prolific. He released album after album after album. Since he died in 1999, Stahlplaat, one of the labels he was very closely associated with, just started releasing loads and loads of stuff that was unreleased, because Bryn Jones never really, or said he didn't really listen to any other music. He had no time to listen to other people's music because he was so busy creating music of his own. And vast quantities of it there are, but it's invariably really, really good. So this year there have been a number of different releases. The one I've put on here is an album called Muslim Lahore, which came out in the latter part of this year, just a matter of weeks ago, I think. And it's brilliant. It is unmistakably Muslim Gauze. Muslim Gauze tends to work with electronic beats wrapped around ethnic samples, Eastern instruments, and vocal loops and so on. It's quite minimalist. But it can be maximalist through volume. Some of the albums that he's created are incredibly loud, hugely distorted, and no matter what you've been listening to before you put it on, you have to turn the volume down because it's so huge. Out there, albums like Arab Quarter, incredibly loud, and then others like Interfaxa, for example, are much more. Not delicate or subtle, but they're not compressed and overdriven to that extent. So this album is more of that. Basic structure's the same. Electronic beats which have been corrupted and tortured with very fast processing edits. So the beats will be playing and they'll suddenly distort and zoom off and come back again. Not like Venetian snares, where the whole rhythmic structure is changing. The rhythm will stay pretty constant, but the processing of the sounds happens in very quick, very rapid fashion. And it's all woven around with these voices, environmental sounds from the Middle East, and instruments. Some of it's Eastern flutes, which dance around faltering beats. Some of it is stringed instruments, possibly sarangi or Indian violins, things like that, which are chopped, looped, resampled, processed, and then run around these beats. And it's fantastic. When back in '84, when the Frantics band that I was in were looking for a record label, couldn't get one that we really liked at the time, formed our own record label. One of the first demos we got was from Muslim Gauze. And he sent in a copy of a 12-inch that is self-released, Hunting Out with the Aerial Eye, which is a fucking brilliant record still. But obviously he went off to do all kinds of other stuff. My favourite track on this album is Tariq Aziz, which is a fabulous track. There's not a bad track on it, but Tariq Aziz is a really perfect combination of tormented beats, stringed instruments, and electronic noise. I don't think it's in reference to the Tariq Aziz who served Saddam Hussein in the Second Gulf War. I think it's more about the Pakistani revolutionary socialist film and TV and radio broadcaster. Don't quite know why it's about him, but because the album is Muslim Lahore and Lahore is Pakistan, it would make sense that this is about that. But it's really hypnotic. Most tracks are about 10 minutes long, so it's very immersive, more long form stuff. I know I do lots of long form stuff. I like long form music. There is a couple of shorter ones on there. The last track's only 3 minutes, and there's no beats on it at all. It's just looped voices and so on. But it is fantastic. It's techno and trance and industrial and ambient all rolled into one. Taking a leaf out of your book there and just taking lots of genres and putting them together to try to describe what this is.
Tell me off for doing it.
Well, I might. Somebody needs to keep you in hand, whether fairly or otherwise. So there you go. Yes, Muslim Gauze we probably will encounter again at some point because there's lots to be said about him. But for the now, Muslim Lahore album, Top 10 2025.
Excellent. Yeah, I really like Muslim. You introduced me to Muslim Gauze. I can't even remember when you mentioned it, and probably. I started listening. Yeah, I started listening to him. And I can't for life remember which ones I've listened to because there's so fucking many.
Huge numbers, yeah.
So I can remember often on the way down to London, if I went to go and see gigs, I'd stick on a Muslim Gauze LP, and I think he's great.
Good,
was great. Good. Is great. It's great that he's still stuff coming out, but obviously not that great because he's
dead. Yes, but a very rare blood disease apparently of some description.
Oh right.
He was only 36 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
And he's got that much music. They're still being released. 26. That's
amazing. As I say, like he just didn't do anything else. Well, I say he didn't do anything else, but musically, he wouldn't listen to anything else. He was just constantly creating, which was fantastic. He didn't play live very often. There were some gigs that he played live, usually in the company of bands like Current 93 and Death in June and that ilk. But he did play some gigs. I don't think he ever really toured, but that's what he did. Make records.
Fair enough. Okay. My number 6 is actually one that I did have earlier in the year, and it is Constant Noise by Benefits. I won't go on. I waxed lyrical about them last time. Suffice to say, Benefits are Kingsley and Robbie from Middlesbrough. The first LP, Nails, was a howling wail of anguish about the state of Britain and the rise of the right and other various twats. This one is a howl of anguish, but rather than another hail of anguish, but rather than with electronic noise and blast beats, this is a whole different, funkier kettle of fish. It's more techno, electro than previously, but with the same more or less spoken word diatribes against the same old enemies that we've constantly been railing against for all of our lives. And it's a superb LP. I caught them at Rough Trade, and they signed my record, and they were very nice chaps. And I wanted to go and see them at. They played Bedford Esquires the other week. But the reason I didn't go is the A428 is so fucked from the roadworks that if you wanted to go down, you had to drive across, go all the way down and all the way back up again to get to. And I thought, I can't be arsed. It was a Sunday, and and that is. I've had 5 chances to see Benefits, where I've actually 4 of which I've actually had tickets, 2 of which I never made it to. Because one was corresponding with a work trip, another one corresponded with a suicide by train at Stevenage. The other 2 I got to, 100 Club and Rough Trade, and then Roadworks buggered up the next one. But I thoroughly recommend this LP. It's an absolute cracker.
I had a ticket to see them in Nottingham, and I ended up not going for some reason.
Yeah.
I can't remember why.
But it's extraordinary live. Absolutely extraordinary band live. Well worth going to see. They're just so good. They're so good. And they also, I think the tour, I'm not sure it was this tour, the tour before, they asked their core audience what they'd like from the tour, and everyone said cheap tickets, finished by 10. So they did cheap tickets, and they finished every gig by 10. Fucking brilliant. So obviously their core audience are our age, because there's nothing better when the gig actually finishes on time. It's like, fuck me, I can get the early train home. I can be in bed by 11. The other weird thing is, I don't know what it is about Stevenage, but every time I've had 3 trains cancelled because of people throwing themselves in front of trains, which is awful. Always at fucking Stevenage. I don't know whether the moral of that is don't ever move to Stevenage, because, yeah, but it's awful.
I was on a train once heading south to London King's Cross from Peterborough, and this gentleman keeled over in the walkway just a few seats back from me, and the what do you call it? The train manager or manageress came along. She was called, and obviously it was established that it was a pretty serious matter. In fact, the guy, we found out in retrospect, had a heart attack. And the manageress had a telephone, and she called out, "Is there a doctor on the train?" Which I'd never heard on a train before. I've heard that call, sadly, on an aircraft, but never on a plane before. Never on a train before. And after a few minutes, this chap came wandering down, and he said, "I'm responding to your call. I'm a pathologist. I'm not sure if there's of any help," which I think the manageress was appreciative of, but clearly wasn't a lot of help in the circumstances. Maybe a little bit preemptive. But the manageress then called the driver, explained the situation. And she was saying, "I think we need to stop at the next station and get help." And she said, okay, fine, right, understood, okay. And then she hung up, and she said, "The driver's not going to stop."
No, jeepers.
And obviously the decision was from the driver that it would be more dangerous or more life-threatening if he were to stop than if it were to be that he just carried on ploughing through the King's Cross, because we weren't that far away, and the speed we were going, it would get him to the station, call ahead, and sure enough, when we got there, there were police and paramedics waiting on the station for us.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I always feel bad. I kind of, like I say, it's happened to me 3 times now. The train's been cancelled by suicide, and your initial thing is you go, "Oh, for fuck's sake," and then you kind of think, "Oh, actually, it's such a horrible thing," and I always end up feeling guilty and going home and bloody making a donation to Calm or one of the other suicide organisations, because you're torn between, you're angry because you've missed it, but at the same time, someone's in such a state that they've had to, that was their last resort, and it's horrible, isn't it?
It happens. I mean, it's a relatively foolproof way. It's certainly not a cry for help if you throw yourself in front of a train.
That is very true. That is very true.
Desperate people.
Unless it was like Thomas the Tank Engine or something, that would probably be more of a call for.
Okay, all right. Okay, benefits, good. Okay, go along with that one. My number 7.
That was a good quick one as well. I hope you spotted that. Yes.
You shouldn't feel like I'm rushing you or anything. I'm not. It's.
I don't. I just like to make the point that I'm really trying.
Well, this one will be a relatively quick one because I don't know an awful lot about this band. I haven't mentioned them before because I only came across them in the last few weeks. And it's a band called Codex Serafini, which is a great sounding name. Apparently, they're.
I've actually heard of them.
Have you?
That rings a bell, and I can't think why.
It's a good name.
Carry on, and I'll tell you why I've.
Okay, so named after the title of a fantasy encyclopedia called Codex Seraphinianus, which was written in an alien language by somebody called Luigi Serafini, because they're into that psychedelic
so they
fantasy.
just took the name but just removed anus.
Moved it around a little bit.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's a minefield you don't want to be stumbling into. So they had this album. It's called "Mother Give Your Children Sanity," and it was released just a month or so ago. And it's a blistering slab of psychedelic rock. They call themselves a Saturnian band. Saturnian band. I don't know if it's Saturnian. It's Saturnian. Don't know.
No, I would say Saturn. Well, Saturn. It's Saturn.
It's Saturnian, yeah.
Saturnian.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I suddenly started to overthink it as I said it.
Just ask Dave Hire, King of Grammar,
Yeah. And he will confidently make things up.
He'll confidently make stuff up. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So they're from Sussex, and they have a great many similarities.
They're from Sussex.
Yeah. Sorry, pronunciations again. Sorry, oh master linguist. Now that with AI you can do this in so many different languages. So they share a great many aspects of their music and style with another band that I really, really like, and I've mentioned before, Goat, because you got psychedelic jazz, noise, rock, monster riffs, and a crystalline, pristine female voices soaring over it, up and down and everywhere. There's only one singer in Codex Seraphini, I believe, whereas in Goat there are two, but the effect is very similar. Also, what Codex Seraphini share with Goat is a clear desire to remain anonymous as individuals, because they don't say anything about their names, who they are, what instruments they play, other than we're from Sussex and we are beyond individual personalities. Art is our only true identity. Even to the extent that they play hidden in masks in the same way that Goat do. Now, I don't say for one moment that they have contrived anything based on a copy of Goat or whatever. They've developed their thing, but it is interesting that they are similar. I've only just come across them, as I say, but this is their fourth album. It's a terrific record, distorted guitars, some odd time changes as well. So it's not just full slug out trance rock. And there's some stuff on that album that isn't even full force noise. There's some hypnotic waves of slower stuff with a more languid feel, with a more trancey, almost a kind of Eastern kind of feel to it. And the vocal flutters and horns describe filigree patterns in the air. It is brilliant. I've been playing it an awful lot recently, and I'm sure we'll continue to do so. But I can't say an awful lot more about them because, as I say, I don't know a great deal more.
Fair enough. I've just found them on Bandcamp, actually.
Oh, okay.
With some spectacularly rude T-shirts as well.
Yeah, they do look a bit rude, don't they?
Yeah. At least they've knocked anus off, so that's make it something bit. I don't know where. It's definitely them I've seen, but maybe it was something to do with Goat, or someone compared them or something previously.
Well worth a listen.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so my number 7, again, we've covered this one before, there's not much more to say about it. Lambrini Girls.
Oh, yeah.
Who Let the Dogs Out.
Mm-hmm.
Love Lambrini Girls. Love Lambrini Girls. I think they're absolutely brilliant, and they're hilarious, and they're just a great band. I'd love to go and see them again. I missed their gig in they played in London just recently. Well, they did a tour. They played in London. I was going to go, and then I just couldn't afford it as usual. So that had to. It was either kind of I had to drop one. And that happened to be the one because I'd seen them before a few times.
Okay.
But yes, great band. Very funny, very punky, very feministy, a bit scary, and especially Phoebe, the lead singer. She scares the shit out of me. She really does. I'm sure she's lovely. But yeah, she's just such a presence on stage. They get into the crowd. They get mosh pits going. She jumps off of balconies into the crowd. Just the gigs are events. Yeah. And they're really good fun. It's great atmosphere. There's no wankiness. They're just good fun, safe places, safe spaces. Yes. So Lambrini Girls, Who Let the Dogs Out, go and get it. And weirdly, I got a I bought the album from Rough Trade when it came out, and it had a free CD of the gig I was at the Scala
Oh, right.
last year. It's always kind of big exciting when you get a live LP and it's one you were
Yeah.
at, and then fuck me if they've just done a re-release for albums of the year, and if you buy it from Rough Trade, I think it's Rough Trade or Resident, you actually get a CD of the next gig I went to, which was live at Electric Brixton. But I am not going to buy another bloody copy because I've fucking got one. I don't need 2 copies or anything anymore.
You're past that now.
My collecting days are over. I buy the records and that's it.
Okay.
So
I did listen to Lambrini
So-
Girls after the last time you mentioned them because I hadn't come across them before. I did quite like that that track, that one that you talked about in a previous session. It might again have been women in music that you mentioned them in.
Yes, I think it was. Yeah, they're great fun. You know, probably one of the best live bands to go and see
Right.
at the moment. You know, if you fancy a fun night out with lots of moshing and big circle pits, that she spends more time in the fucking audience than she does on the stage sometimes. Absolutely brilliant.
Good.
But yes, so there you go. That was number 7. That was a quick rush through Lambrini Girls.
Okie dokie. My number 8 is another band that I haven't mentioned before, I don't think, but won't major on today because I know I'll come back to them at some point because it's another band I really, really like, and it's Gnod. In 2025, again, they're a quite prolific band, and I've liked them for a long time. And again, they do quite a lot of collaborations. The members of Gnod do separate things as well. There's all kinds of stuff that they're releasing. But the album that I've included here from 2025 is Dropout 3, which is the third in a series that Gnod have done with another band called White Hills from New York.
All right.
Noise rock band from New York. So Gnod are from Manchester, formed in 2006, and they do all kinds of different music. There's no... they're a bit like the American band Carlton Melton. You get some really heavy records, some trance rock records, and then kind of meditative records and drones and electronics and loops. So I think they just go in the studio and they do whatever the fuck they feel like, which is great, you know.
Fair, yeah.
And true enough, this album it's a double album. And some of it is really powerful, repetitive, trance rock kind of stuff I really like. Long form again. This kind of stuff that really drags you in and drags you under and just keeps going and going and going and gets mesmeric as it does. And then there are other things.
Do you remember Hey Colossus?
Yeah.
They were a lot like that, weren't they?
They were, yeah. I wasn't such a big fan of Hey Colossus. There's still stuff that comes out from them. Riot Season puts stuff out
right.
from them from time to time.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But Gnod at the top.
I saw them at the Portland Arms ages ago.
Yeah.
And they were fucking brilliant. They had about 30 guitar players, or so
Yeah.
it seemed. I know there were a big line of people playing the guitar. God, they made a racket. They did.
I don't know if they're still together or whether they're just re-releases that have come out. I haven't seen anything in recent
I don't know.
times.
I remember they had to go on. They were the headline band, but they had to go on before the end because one of them had to get his train back to London, so they had to play like second on the bill.
Right.
But they were great. Yeah, they were really
Yeah,
good.
it's a similar kind of thing.
Sorry, I didn't mean to butt in.
That's right. I mean, it's a conversation. They're similar kind of ilk, and you know that kind of trance rock. I really do like an awful lot. So this is a double album. I haven't got anything by White Hills. The only things I've got by White Hills are stuff that they have done with Gnod. So I really need to get round to getting some White Hills stuff in their own right because I'm sure it would be pretty darn good based on the kind of stuff that they do with Gnod. But it is, as I say, this album, it's a double album. Some of it is noise, some of it is mescaline and mayhem, and some of it is synth pads and small bells and hand drums and triangles with just deep throbbing bass underneath it. So it's very hypnotic, almost as if it was written to be hypnotic. A bit like Sun Arrow or something like that, almost medicinal music. And then you get stuff that just blasts and pounds. So it is a terrific album. As I say, I'll probably come back to Gnod another time. We'll talk to them in more detail. But for the moment, the album, another one of 2025, is great.
Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. Well, my number 8 is well, it's a kind of a cheat because it's two LPs.
Oh.
Because in my first pick of the year, I had "Perverts" by Ethel Cain.
Okay, yeah.
Which was kind of noise drone rock, really. It was a fabulous LP. Well, she then released Willoughby Tucker, "I Will Always Love You," which I kind of I did a video on Instagram of it and said that I saw it as a companion piece to "Perverts." And I went to see her live at the at Hammersmith Apollo earlier this year, and she played pretty much all of Willoughby Tucker, "I'll Always Love You," but interspersed were a couple of tracks from "Perverts," and they fit perfectly, you know.
Okay.
So it was, yeah. So I mean, I see them as companion records, but "Willoughby Tucker, I'll Always Love You" was just superb. You know, it kind of took a lot of the elements of Perverts, but kind of prettied them up a little bit. You know, there was, I mean, obviously there was a lot more. So all the songs, more or less, all of the songs had lyrics, and it was set as a prequel to her first the previous LP to "Perverts," even, which was "Preacher's Daughter," which is amazing. And that's where I discovered them, because my girls just absolutely adore her, and they, you know, they were going, "Oh, Dad, you know, Ethel Cain," and I listened and I thought, actually, this is really good, which I invariably do when they recommend music to me. Yeah, I know they've got really good taste. So I think I've said that before, and I think I then followed that up with, I don't know where they get it
Genetics,
from.
yes.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, it's just the most gorgeous LP, and it is like it's concept album. You know, and again, it's a love story, kind of quite a perverse one. Got some very long tracks on it that are just amazing. That the final track, which is "Waco, Texas," is a fucking banger. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And the previous track that I can't remember what it's bloody called now, but that it was my favourite track. Funny enough, we got the Spotify. You know, Spotify do that thing where they tell you what you listen to the most, and
Does he?
both me, yeah, I can't remember what it's called, Spotify something, I don't know. But the kids love it, you know. But we all three of us, me and Lily and Annie, our favourite, our most played out artist of the year was Ethel Cain.
Right.
Yeah, which I didn't see coming. I got to be honest, and I was quite chuffed about it, actually. But yeah, and it's just such a brilliant album. I mean, it goes from, I mean, there's a song called "Fuck Me Eyes," which is kind of not a pastiche, but it's definitely has a kinship with Betty Davis Eyes.
Okay.
So it's almost an 80s pop banger, but at the same time you've got this kind of dark ambient country Americana type thing going on. There's banjos even, you know.
God.
But it's not in a Deliverance style way. You know, it's not like really a ding 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 ding. It's nothing like that. But it's just, and the live show was fucking amazing. I have to say, it was visually, it was probably the best gig I've been to this year. It was just as a spectacle. It was amazing. Great songs. You know, it was a great gig. Yeah. So that's number 8. Ethel Cain, Willoughby Tucker, "I Will Always Love You," stroke "Perverts."
Don't stroke "Perverts."
That probably.
No,
yeah, that
don't.
didn't come out
Never.
quite
If
that
anybody's
way.
listening, that wasn't an instruction
Yes,
or advice.
don't stroke a pervert, and don't let pervert stroke you either.
Those two words shouldn't
Be safe out there, kids.
This is where we put the disclaimer, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, already slagged off Roadrunner Records earlier on, so we're definitely going to get sued.
There's rarely an episode that goes by when there isn't somebody that's potentially offended. But I think it's difficult to say much with honesty and authenticity these days without potentially offending somebody. So we can't skirt around what we need to say at the expense of authenticity.
So you can fuck off.
You can fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay. My number.
But still don't stroke perverts.
Don't ever do that in any circumstance. Okay, my number 9 is another reissue, remastered, I'm afraid. But I hadn't even got the original of this. So this is definitely a 2025
Hold
release.
on, let me consult the rules
You've already
again.
consulted on this one. You don't need to consult again. It's a fantastic triple album, and it's remastered first release from. That's not the first release. It's a remastered early release from Deep Chord, who are fucking amazing. Essentially, Deep Chord is Rod Modell. He's a musician, DJ, producer from Detroit. And this record, Vantage Isle, was released originally sometime in the 90s, I think. But he basically makes very minimalist ambient dub techno. And I've got quite a lot of his records, and they are fucking brilliant.
I think I've got one over there somewhere. I'm pretty sure I've got one. Yeah.
Love it to bits. Does quite often collaborate with Echo Space, which is essentially Stephen Hitchell. And the sound they make is reminiscent of, it's been called the second wave of basic channel sound. So dub techno from early 90s Germany. And it's fantastic. I think Deep Chord almost made my episode 11 ambient great, because despite the fact that most of it is beat driven, it is just that beat and scatters of electronics and hisses and crackles, and it's brilliant. But this album, as I said, it's a triple album. Caught me out actually when I got it and played it, because all the sides bar the last one play at 33 and a third, and you play the last one and think this doesn't sound quite right, and for some reason side 6 plays at 45 RPM, which I hadn't noticed.
I fucking hate that. The amount of times I've been listening to records, especially if it's instrumental, and especially if it's that kind of dubby ambient-y stuff, and they don't put the fucking speed on the bloody record, so you automatically go for like 33, and you think, fuck me, this is pretty somnambulant, and then you find it should be at 45, or then you play it at 45 and you think,
too fast.
Oh, this is quite techno. This is. I was expecting ambient, and you're on the wrong fucking speed. And the other thing that pisses me off, record labels take note. Put fucking A side and B side on your labels.
That can be misleading.
Bastards.
Yeah.
That fucking winds me up. That does. Wankers. Sorry, carry on.
I've got a few records that explicitly say play at any speed. A Furious Pig and and you just choose whatever sounds right. And I suppose essentially you could do that with any record. And Deep Chord records, I haven't tried it, but maybe some of them do sound as good at a different speed.
Have you ever played Jolene by Dolly Parton at 33? It's released on a 45 single.
Yeah.
If you pay Jolene at I've got a copy over there purely so I can just do it when I'm a bit pissed. You play it at 33. Sounds like Johnny Cash. Jolene.
Yeah, okay.
It's like sounds like the Sisters of Mercy cover. They did a cover of it, didn't they? It sounds like that. So you can save your money buying bloody Sisters of Mercy cover. Buy the fucking 45 7-inch from a charity shop, stick it on 33, like, bloody hell, Sisters of Mercy.
2 records in one, depending on your mood.
Fantastic.
I don't know where the royalties are going to go.
True.
But so great album. It's full of remixes. Essentially, some of it is by Deep Chord himself remixing his own stuff. Some of it's by Convection. Some of it is by Echo Space. Another was CV313. And not all of it is beat driven. They tend to get on each side. There are 2 tracks. The longer one is a beat driven one, and the shorter one is lacking beats. But it's all fantastic, all extremely minimal, electronic pulses, echoes, loads of reverb, giving it masses of depth, lots of processing, and it's structurally uncomplicated, but it's sophisticated in the way it's arranged and the sounds and the processing. So it is certainly, again, cheating a little bit because it was originally released some years ago, but it is remixes. It is a new release. It's only just released. I did have a look to see if it was on Spotify, and there isn't anything on Spotify from this album, but there is other Deep Chord stuff from the album, so we can put something on the playlist so people get an idea.
I think so. Yeah. No, that's cool, because I knew there was, because I played Deep Chord all the time.
Right.
I do. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it is hypnotic stuff.
Yes, excellent. So
number 9.
I'm my number 9. Yes, my number 9. My number 9 is Public Works and Utilities by Warrington Runcorn Newtown Development Plan. One of my favourites. I know you've. I know I've kind of waffled on about them.
Yes,
before.
I've got some of their stuff now. I do like it as well.
Yes, Gordon Chapman Fox is the guy behind it. Very nice bloke. He played. I've seen him a couple of times now, and live does a cracking live set. It's very, very. It's kind of. I suppose it's. You could probably describe it as hauntological. Yeah. So you're aware of the hauntology thing. So it's basically conjures up visions of what it says, Newtown developments. You get these visions of old 70s public information films about new towns, and it's very synth driven, just absolutely fabulous, and kind of comes under this hauntological thing. And well worth buying. It's a fantastic record. But while I was kind of thinking about this, the other day I went down to London, and I went to a book launch, and it was a book all about hauntology, and it was basically about hauntology and how it and how it kind of. The guy who wrote the book sees hauntology as being about the landscapes of Britain, and I went along because Frances Castle from Claypipe Records was there under the guise of the Hardy Tree, which she releases music as, and she did a short live set, which was fabulous. And also Luke Stone Circle Sampler was there as well, who will. I've kind of given away my number 10 now, but who will feature later. And it was really funny because he kind of spoke about Warrington Runcorn, and I actually had a Warrington Runcorn t-shirt on, and the author, whose name escapes me as usual, might be Phil Hubbard, he said, Warrington Runcorn t-shirt, and we talked about him, and he had his on as well. So they got down to have the discussion about it, and everybody who was there, who represented hauntological music, there was Justin Hopper, there was Jim Jupp from Ghostbox, there was Oliver Shearer, who releases music as Gilroy Mere, and Francis, all completely disagreed with everything he said about it being about landscape, and they kind of. I think they saw it as being about the buildings, brutalist buildings, and but also as not a nostalgia driven thing, but as a memory driven thing. And I was in one of those positions where I wanted to put my hand up for questions and go, do you I get what you're saying about the landscape, but do you not see it as landscape of memory? Because all this music, you listen to it, it conjures up these visions of memories that you didn't actually have, or for me anyway. So if I listen to Warrington Runcorn, for example, I see these new towns with brutalist concrete buildings and brand new roads with very few cars on. But that's nothing I've ever experienced. I'm conjuring up images from years and years of film, probably. But conversely, listening to some of the other stuff on Claypipe music, in particular, Vic Mars did some LPs, and that's more of a kind of a Vaughan Williams type of music, and that conjures up, you know, images of running through forest, playing with your mates, wearing short trousers, and you know, which I've never fucking done either, you know. But that's and so it's like I saw it as this memory landscape thing that kind of conjure as well as bringing your memories back to life, kind of implants memories in there of kind of experience, you know. So they all balked at nostalgia, and I did as well, but I saw it as memory.
Well, I think Jung believed that we all shared a single consciousness in some fragmented way. So
Yeah,
maybe there's something to that.
I wouldn't disagree. I think there is. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I realise I've gone off track, but I really wanted to. I just thought it was really funny because he's a really nice bloke and he made some brilliant points, but they all just fucking disagreed with him, which was really, really, really funny. But not in a, you know, not in
aggressive way.
Fuck off, mate. Yeah. No, just in a nice way. And it's brilliant because also you got free tins of pop and there was food after. Best gig I've ever been to. Yeah. Had these cheesy mushroom things. They were fucking delicious. Absolutely delicious. Yeah.
Don't think I've ever been to a gig where there's been free food and drink.
Yeah. Well, it was less gig, more book launch, but it was quite posh. It was weird though because I got in the lift and there was me, 3 blokes, 2 young girls. The young girls got off on floor 2. And then I just turned around and said, "So nerdy blokes to fucking floor 8 then?" And they all went, "Yeah, looks like it, doesn't it?" Which was, quite amusing. So that's me number 9 anyway. Warrington Runcorn, Newtown Development Plan, on the wonderful Castles in Space label, one of my favourite labels for electronic music.
Well, interestingly, my number 10 is a hauntological record as well, and it's Jason Mills, who records as Dead Man's Ghost. And this year he released a very limited 20 cassettes and 50 lathe cut 12 inches only album called A Votive Offering. And it's his 6th album, his 2nd release on Cruel Nature Records. And he describes the songs as evocative of the liminal spaces that encapsulate folklore of the Irish world. So you can imagine very easily in his music the abandoned ruins of a clairvoyant's cottage and mist-shrouded standing stones and that kind of thing, which is exactly his intention. So it's an absorbing listen. It's big spaces and rustic samples. There's some spoken word samples on there as well that really kind of help you if you're struggling and you don't struggle to imagine the scenes. It's rustic samples and drifting electronics. And it is very haunting and very otherworldly, but it is describing places that may really exist. I'm not really sure whether they are actual places or whether they are imagineered places to suit the music, or one way or the other. But it's definitely hauntological and it's definitely about places. So there could have been a further debate in the book launch with if Jason had been there.
Yeah. They may well have brought him up. They did list a load of influences, and there were so many. A lot of them just went over the top of my head. Right. So it could well have been included.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So, I mean, it's his 6th album, so he's been around for a while doing this kind of thing. I haven't got any of his other records. It's the first one I've got of him, but I should be looking back into his previous releases to see what else there is now, because I really do like this one. This, again, a quite recent one, so I did have a quick look on Spotify and it isn't on there. I don't think there's anything by Dead Man's Ghost on there, but there is one track from this album on YouTube. So the best we can do this time round is put a reference or a link wherever you put them to that for people who, if they really want to have a listen to it, they can find it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the whole hauntological thing is great. I mean, it covers such a wide palette as well, doesn't it, of music? Because you know, and like I say, the guys who were on the panel hated the term. Hated the term hauntological, but it is such a good, you know, it's good if you want to lump. I mean, and we love a genre.
You love a genre.
We love a genre. I love a genre. I just find it easy to for reference is all, you know, because I've got such an appalling memory, and you know, using genres to I've had to explain this on on Instagram a couple of times. People go, oh, why do you have to keep, and I'm like, because I'd never fucking be able to, I have to use the genre as a reference point for myself, really, just so that I kind of I know what I'm fucking talking about. It's just because right, this is this. I mean, I think it's a particularly ADHD thing, is you like to have everything labelled and you like to have everything in front of you and everything in straight lines, so to speak. So there's no kind of veering off at some point and thinking, oh, what's this? It's there. That's what I like to have in front of me. So if I know that comes under hauntological, I've got an idea of where of where it would be in quite a large
a basket
collection of in quite a large collection of things, but I know where my starting reference point is. If
did you buy the book?
So no, because I didn't, because it's he said it's a bit of a bugger, because it's a what do you call it,
book.
No, it's a specific book, isn't it? A specific type of academic book. So it's about 90 fucking quid.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, bollocks, I couldn't afford it. Even with the discount, it's like 50 fucking quid. So he said it'll be out in paperback at some point. So I'll probably get it then. So my number 10, the final one of our countdown of the year. And as I just said, is Stone Circle Sampler, The World of the Unknown Hauntology. That was the one I picked for the first half of the year. I could have picked, he's so prolific. I've just got a load of stuff that he's released this year. We've got The World of the Unknown Hauntology. I've got The Signalman, Acid Folk Imagery. I've got a split he did with Tape Luke Orchestra. Another one, this is Luke, who is Stone Circle Sampler. Iceman Junglist Crew. He's just released Unheimlich Undercurrents. Plus, there's another 5 CDs he's done through Sleep Fuse. They're absolutely brilliant. I mean, it is proper hauntological. And weirdly, I was just thinking he did a little article about hauntology. So if I know we've talked about it a lot, so what I might do is I'll stick the link up when we release this actual episode. I'll stick the link up on Facebook. So if anyone wants to read Luke's guide to hauntology, just to give you an idea of what we're talking about, it's very thorough and it's really, really interesting. If you fancy it. And I met him at that book launch, and what a lovely bloke. He was so nice. He'd said, I've got kind of conversing with him on Instagram after we picked the tape for the first time we picked our favourite of the first half of the year. And he said, oh, I'll be there, come and find me. So I found him, had a lovely 15-minute chat with him, and I'm going to see him again. There's another gig going on in London next week I'm going to, that he's actually putting on, which is for the Balloonist, who is Ben Holton from Wayside and Woodland Records, who I also I'm on his Patreon, and I buy pretty much everything that Wayside and Woodland release as well, because that's that they got mentioned at the hauntology thing as well, because that's all about, that's all very English, very kind of memory driven. And he also, we were talking about all the tapes I've got a pile of tapes so big from I've been kind of slowly buying, and he said, I've just got a box back from the distributor, let me know what you need and I'll bring it down to the so I if he's got any, I'm going to end up going back on the train with a load of tapes. Thoroughly recommend it. There's nothing on Spotify. If you want to listen to Stone Circle Sampler, go to Bandcamp. There's lots of stuff up there. It's very, very interesting stuff. Lots of field recordings, drones. He loves a bit of drum and bass. There was one they did, which was which was reading an old Doctor Who script that had been lost, which is really good because it's got the sound effects and eerie music behind it. That was fantastic as well. I can't quite see. I've got the wrong glasses.
I just have to say,
I know it's
you
over.
don't make producing this any better with your mic technique, which is just to wander around all over the place, going loud and quiet and distant. Sit still.
Sorry about that. That's because I was looking over where it is, trying to see if I can. I think it's called the Nunton Complex or something, but that was really good as well. But yes, so my number 10 is The World of the Unknown Hauntology by Stone Circle Sampler.
I think it's been a good year by all accounts, then, hasn't it? Because we've both struggled probably to get to 10, given it all the records that have come out this year.
I could quite easily have done 20.
Yeah, me too.
I was doing lots of crossing out this afternoon. There was some cracking stuff that came out.
Although we've not been doing this we weren't doing this last year, so maybe if we'd done it in 23 or 22, we would have similar. You just don't sit I don't sit at the end of a year and think to myself, what were the best records of this year? I don't make a chart. So
I always have.
Have you really?
I've done a list of top 10 LPs for quite some time because Neil always says, "When's your list coming out?" And then he goes off and listens to them all at the end of every year. Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Have you been doing that since like back in the?
Probably the ones that I've got to hand probably start about 10 years ago.
Wow.
It's just a nerdy. It's just a nerdy ADHD thing, to be perfectly honest.
So Neil doesn't reciprocate and say this was my best 10. You have a listen to those, Dave. Okay.
No, I think the only things he ever listens to are the 10 fucking records I tell him to listen to every Christmas.
Well, when we met up with him in the summer, he did say that he buys a lot of the stuff that he missed back in the 80s and 90s. He's buying up stuff that he should have had and didn't for whatever reason. Which I get. Even some of the best bands in the world that I like, I haven't got all their records yet.
No, same.
There's no time.
It's never ending though, isn't it? It's never ending. There's not enough time. There's not enough money. No. In the world, there's not enough time to listen to it. Not enough money to buy it all.
Even if I only wanted to listen to Muslim Gauze, I wouldn't have enough time and money.
Exactly. He's dead and still releasing 25 albums a year. I mean, fucking hell. That's some going.
That is some going. That was a good year. Yeah, definitely. You have to do that again.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll leave it till the end of the year so we don't waste.
Yeah, definitely. A little bit too enthusiastic with the first half of the year review, I think.
Yes, I think we may well have been, but we have trundled through that relatively quickly, I think. So that should make for quite a nice treat of a nice editing experience for you.
Yeah, anyway, right.
Okay, well, that's our review of 2025. Hope you all enjoyed it, and hope that you find some new stuff to listen to and some old stuff and some other stuff to go, what the fuck was that? Well, thank you for. We did have some nice comments on. I posted up. I keep updating the Facebook page with the reaction because I'm so astounded by the bloody the figures on Instagram. Every now and again, I do a screenshot and stick it on Facebook. What the fuck, But we did have some really nice comments from people today, just saying how much they enjoyed it, which was really, really cool. Because. It's I mean, we enjoy doing it, but it's nice to know that people do think I'm funny and and are enjoying it, and do kind of, and lots of people are saying that they're picking up lots of new music from us. So from Instagram and from our from this playlists and
good,
and all the stuff we're banging out there. So I have to say hi to DJ Substance and Brooklyn Pete from the Greatest Playlist Ever because they keep promoting us on their show.
Are you going to remember who we are?
You were DJ Shit Pump and I was MC Crabstick.
Oh, you're getting
if I
hang of it. You're
remember
getting
rightly,
fast to
yes.
remembering.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Well, I've shaved both names in the side of the cat, so I just read one side, then turn it over, and it's shaved.
Oh, bless him.
It just seemed like a good idea at the time. So hi to those guys, and obviously anyone from Autofon, if you're listening, I do need I could do with a new stylus, a new stylus for my record player. I've currently got a 2M Red, so if you want to upgrade me, I'm more than happy. So shameless, fucking indeed. Shameless. Yes. Anyway, thanks for listening, everyone, and we will be back anon at some point.
See you soon.
Yes. Bye bye.
Bye bye.